Hi, this is Robert with Pioneer Smokehouses, and today we're going to take a look at the Big Chief Smoker versus the Little Chief Smoker. So let's get right into it. If you look at the two smokers, you can see that they're very similar. They're the same in width, exactly, and then in the size, the Big Chief is just about half again bigger. Let's go ahead and take a look inside. Now this model of the Little Chief is a front load, and this model of the Big Chief is a top load. But both sizes are available with either option. Now I personally prefer the top load because I think it gets better airflow because of the seals around the edges. Since there is no seal, the air just goes where it wants to. Set this down here. And let's do the same over here. Go ahead and I'm going to just set this rack down here for now, and this contains all of the trays. And then I'll tilt this down and you can kind of get a look in there. And then I'll try to get some pictures and pop those up there too. Not really a make or break so you can tell what's going on here. It's just a straight open aluminum box. But the one thing about that is that because of the top load, you don't want to have it raised up too high because it makes it hard to get things in and out. With this, it's really easy to get it in and out. It just has the gaps around the edges which change the airflow, and that's why I prefer that one. Now, if we take a look at the shelves, there is 5 of these in the Little Chief, and I believe previous models might have only came with 4, but this model here comes with 5, and the Big Chief has 5 of the shelves in it. I'm going to go ahead and compare the two shelves here really quick. This shelf is just slightly over 10 by 10 inches, and this shelf is right around 10 by 16 inches. It's just a little over 16. When you're looking at 5 shelves, this smoker has the capacity of 500 square inches of food, and this one has the capacity of 800 square inches of food. Now, when you look at that, you have to remember, because the shelves are so tight, it has to be thin food. If it's too thick, like more than a couple of inches, it'll hit the shelf above it. So when I consider the surface area, I consider it for something like jerky, or maybe something like cheese or smoked fish or something along that lines, or nuts and stuff. I don't really consider that as surface area available to cook something like a roast. But also, you wouldn't want to cook a lot of roast in something like this because the top temperature. Now, let's go ahead and discuss the next point, is that both of these smokers are run by an electric element. Okay, this one here is a smaller electric element. I'm going to move the pan, and I don't know if you can see that there, but I'll try to pop a picture of both of them right up here for you. So there is the Little Chief one, it's just a little round loop, and then this one is a kind of a U-shaped loop. Now, the Little Chief smoker is a 250 watt element, and the Big Chief smoker is a 450 watt element. So even though the sizes are different, they still have roughly the same temperature. Both smokers run at around 165 degrees. Now that does vary depending on outside influences like your weather mostly, or whether or not you use something like insulation. So you can get a higher temperature if you wrap an insulation blanket like this. They make a one-size-fits-all option. You fit it onto your smoker, and then you apply the Velcro stick tabs, and then it's adjusted to your smoker. There's a spot for the door and a spot for the power cable on the back. And if you want more information on that, you can see the accessory video that I did a couple weeks ago. Both of these smokers function generally the same way, and the main difference between them is just size. That said, if you're looking for something that's convenient, maybe you have a single car garage and you don't want a lot of stuff in your house, or let's say you're going camping to a campground that has a plug-in, or you want to use it with another source of smoke. Like, let's say you could even put a piece of charcoal with some wood chips in there and that would smoke, or you could use one of the amazing smoke trays. And I'm going to grab one of those real quick. So if you take a look at the amazing smoke tray, the pellets just go in there and then you light it up, and then you could slide it right into the smoker through the door like this, and just set it like that and leave it wedged out just a little bit, probably right about there. The more air that you give those pellet trays, the better they work. But also, you could take it and you could pull this tray out and flip the tray up one and put the food tray down, and that would increase the airflow, and then you could set that right there. This drip tray will make the smoke circulate around it so it evens out really nice. And also you can place a piece of tinfoil on top of the drip tray and it'll catch all your mess, so that way it doesn't get down into the pellet tray. But that'll work great as a cold smoker or a low temperature smoker when you're out camping, and you don't have to plug it in. You can just use it like that. Of course, you won't get to 160 degrees, but there's other options if you're willing to modify. The first smoker that I had modified. I cut a hole in the bottom, and the second smoker, I did the exact same thing and used an electric element underneath it as a burner to use a large pan instead of the small pan, which got me a lot more smoking time. Now, these pans are designed perfectly to go in there, and so it's one size pan for both smokers. So if the pan goes bad, you can see there's a little bit of rust in here. That happens. You just buy another one. Don't even think twice about it. They are really solid, but you know, rust is going to kill anything. Usually I end up breaking the handle before I wear the pan out, but it still happens. The power cord for both units is identical. It's a special power cord. It's got a little notch in it. It looks like a computer cord or electronics cord, but it's not. It feels a little different, like a harder material, but I'm not sure if it is or not. But it definitely holds the heat really well, and you can see right on it that it's marked 10 amp at 125 volts. So this is a heavy duty cord. Now, only other thing to cover is I wanted to mention this. And so last video I did with accessories, I didn't have any of these, but I decided that I wanted to get the small ones rather than the big ones, because you can use the small one on the big grill grate as long as you don't go over the edges there. And a lot of times I just put in a small amount of food, so I don't need a large amount. Now the package comes with 5 of these, and then you can put them on here like that, and look at that. That is a perfect fit. You can also buy large ones to fit there too. I like to buy the generic ones for the large ones and cut them to fit whichever smoker I need. We slide that in there like that, and look at that. Perfect. Now, again, you don't have to buy their brand, but their brand works really good, and it fits in here without any modification whatsoever. So, again, the only major difference between these is size. Now, the capacity for the weight that these are rated at from the manufacturer is 25 pounds for the small one and 50 pounds for the large one. So if you're going to smoke something like, let's say you're going to smoke up a couple of salmon fillets, and I cut them up into strips and brine them, and then I smoke them, this large smoker is going to be the way you're going to go. But if you're going to do a bunch of trout, you can probably take a regular sized trout and cut off the tail and head and fit it on these trays after you're done brining it without any problem. And that's what I used to do all the time when I first started smoking with this on a regular basis. Now, this top load Little Chief smoker is the smoker that I learned how to smoke on in the beginning. So either one of these is a great option, but you just have to consider your size and space that you have to use it. As far as how the food comes out, food will come out just as good in either unit. Now, if you saw anything you like in this video, there's affiliate links below. Also, there's a link to the review of the Big Chief Smoker and an article that outlays all the same things that I talked about in more detail about the smoker, which one versus which, including all the data that goes along with what I said here. Thank you for watching and have a great day.